All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Big Guilty Cigar Podcast. We are back again, and this time is a special episode. This one to me is actually kind of, dear to my heart because it's a good friend of mine. Since the day we met, we just clicked, and he's been a really good friend, and he represents a really good organization, which is Dogs Inc. Uh, you know, which provides dogs to. You know what? I'll let Frank explain that part better than I can. But Frank does something really special, something that I stand behind. And without further ado, from Dogs Inc., Jersey Mafia, Jersey Cigar Mafia, my boy Frank.
What's up, buddy?
Frank, how
How's
you doing,
everything?
man? How you doing, man? I'm
Good,
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 man.
good.
So do you want to do? Do you want to let people? Want to give people a little insight about yourself?
Sure. Um, I started as the drunken corner for the last 4 years, and then I'm a true believer of things happen for a reason. You know, when things go through life and like it seems like the stars aligned and things happening. What's up there,
Mm-hmm.
Bernie? My
Mm-hmm.
son's a strength coach, and he used to be at ECU in North Carolina, and he left and went to University of Southern Florida out in Tampa 3 years ago. So when I was going down to see him, everybody in the cigar world is like, "Hey, you have to go to JC Newman Cigars, go meet
Yep.
Bobby, and get over to Dogs Inc."
Mm-hmm.
So my wife and I did all the above. Bobby was fantastic, and we fell in love with Dogs Inc. The second we walked in there, um, like you can't leave with a dry eye. And what
Mm.
Dogs Inc. does, they provide our veterans with service dogs that they've the veterans have suffered from PTSD, blindness, loss of limb, night seizures, night tremors, etc. And they raise dogs for them. Now the veteran gets the dog free of charge for life. They get free food from the From Food Company, and they get
That's
free
amazing.
medical for the dog for life. And each dog costs between $50,000 to $65,000 per dog,
Wow.
and it's fully funded by everyone's donations. The government gives them squat.
Wow. That is amazing. So far, how many dogs have you given away so far, Frank?
I'm glad you said that. We just had an event the other night up here at Verve Restaurant in Somerville, and Bobby Newman came in from Tampa with two people from Dogs Inc. and their dogs. And they say 22 veterans commit suicide a day. It's more. I don't know the number. And Dogs Inc. has given out now their 1,000th dog
That's
to a
amazing.
veteran. And not one veteran has taken his life since getting a dog.
Wow. That is fire. You know what?
Yep.
It's a great cause. It's
Yeah.
a great cause, and something like that for veterans is something that should really, you know, like it should be government funded.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have to be privately done. Like a program like that should be government funded because it helps out our ex-military, and it helps our ex-military when it comes to doing stuff when it comes to mental health.
Yep. And like
So
the crazy thing too, like with PTSD, it got mischaracterized at one time. People called it shell shocked, or they called it
hmm
this and that, and not realizing behind it everything that's going on. And you don't have to be a veteran or a first responder or anyone to suffer PTSD.
yep,
That's a thing that people don't understand. It could happen to anyone. You could be in a bad car accident. You can have something traumatic happen in your life. So it's out there, and people just push it off as either having a bad day or whatever. And deep down, there could be a lot going on.
And that's one thing too, is mental health, is something that, like people talk about that, you should get your mental health checked out. You should, oh, like I think this person is going through depression, but nobody really goes and sees a doctor for it. They hide it, they mask it,
Hmm.
they do whatever they can to kind of run away, especially men.
Yeah. Well,
Because
you're right.
you know because at the end, like when it comes to men, we don't want to come off as weak. You know, yeah, yeah. You see that, right, Hugo? You see the hat right there, Hugo? Yeah. So
Yeah, but you're right. That's how it goes.
yeah, but
Like
it.
they think they're supposed to be so strong, you know what I mean? And they can't
Uh
show
huh.
a weakness and this and that. And to get back how I started with all of this
Yep.
is that my brother was a police officer in Lyndhurst,
Hmm.
and last month it was 11 years he was involved in a lethal shooting,
Wow.
and he suffered from PTSD. Um, he wound up getting divorced. He had to retire, and May 9th, 2024, he committed suicide. So
Wow.
this is a special thing to myself and my family and how it goes. And how I was saying everything happens for a reason. My son leaves a school that he was at for 3 years to go to Tampa. I go down to Tampa to visit him and meet Bobby and Dogs Inc. Fast forward 2 years, Wolfie, the president of the Ohio Cigar Mafia, talked with
Yes, sir, Wolfie.
Bobby Newman, and they asked me to be the president of the Jersey Cigar Mafia,
Wow.
and I accepted. And then 2 months later, my brother commits suicide. So
Wow.
there's kind of a reason why all this stuff happened for me to be able to get involved and do it. I'm a believer that's how it is,
Hmm.
and I've dedicated to raise enough money every year for one dog for a veteran
Yep.
in my brother's name and save one life a year. That's our
Hey,
goal.
you know what? When you had your event in Jersey and you brought the people from Dogs Inc. And one thing in during my show last night, I was talking about how like at that time you had only given away 750 dogs
Yeah,
at that
that's
time.
that's what we knew. Yep. Hmm.
So at that time you had only given away 750 dogs, and I remember those dogs, like you can't pet them, you can't touch them
Correct.
because
They're
because
working.
they're working, and they are trained that their job is to be able to know if that person is having a stroke, if that person's blood pressure is high, if it's low,
Mhm.
you know, to be able to be able to sense, you know, those the needs of a person. But I
Yep.
do also feel like dogs are kind of like that. Dogs know when you're having a bad day.
Yep.
Like I feel like like when they say man's best friend, like it really is. I feel like dogs are really man's best friend, because no matter what, you can be having the worst day in the world. When you walk to that door, they're not gonna just look at you and walk away. They get up, and it's like their first time seeing you.
That
They
tail's
are
wagging.
happy. Yeah, they are happy. You know, like if you're down, they're gonna come to you and just lay on you. Not they don't need no attention. All they're saying is, "I'm here.
Yep.
I'm here if you need me."
Yeah. One of the guys that we have, Sean Brown, who he does the speaking and things when he comes to our events. He says all the time his dog saves his life. I mean, he has
Yep.
seizures, and his dog
Wow.
senses it and wakes him up before he gets into a seizure. He'll sense
Wow.
that he's going to be having his night tremors, and
Oh,
his dog
really?
Nick wakes him up and knows it before
Wow.
anything happens.
That's amazing. Wow. That right there is one of those is a like I've always heard about that dogs can sense stuff, But when you hear these stories, you're like, no, like it's really true.
Yeah.
Like dogs know stuff is gonna happen before it happens. It's also like, you know, the one thing I like. I'm not a cat person at all. I'm a
Mhm.
dog person, 150% a dog person. So I'm always gonna be biased towards when it comes to if I get a pet, it's gonna be a dog. You know, like that's always been my belief. Just because of how attentive and how you know they're like one of the kids.
Yeah.
You know.
It's yeah, they're wonderful.
Uh huh.
There's Wolfie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're you know, you'll see animals just in general, you know, like
Yeah.
you'll see them start running around going crazy. Next thing you know, there's a
Yep.
hurricane. You know what I mean? Or there's
Exactly.
another, like they sense things that we don't have, and
Mm-hmm.
properly trained like they do at Dogs Inc. They take those senses and train them to learn to pick up on people,
Yeah, and
and
it's
it's just truly amazing the lives that they're saving. Like, you know, Wolfie says all the time, you know, at what we do, we are a cigar family that's brought together by our love of
mm-hmm.
cigars to just preach the mission of Dogs Inc. And it's saving one, you know, a dog saving lives one dog at a time.
Yep.
And that's right, Wolfie knows. Sanj,
Yeah.
can't you know just as good as
Yeah.
anyone. You've been around him for a long time.
Yeah.
Can't say
Mm-hmm.
enough good things about him and all the support
Yeah.
that he gives
Yep.
to everybody, and
To
especially to
yeah.
us at Dogs Inc.
Dogs
And
Inc. Yeah.
for people
If
like
you if
that, you know, we're very grateful on the things that they do to
mm-hmm.
help.
Like he was the one that hosted the event
Yeah,
for Dogs Inc.
yeah,
You know, and he came up with the Orioles tail, which I believe is either 100% or 50% of of any Orioles sold went to Dogs Inc.
yep, yeah. We split it with
And
one of the local dog areas, you know, that he knew,
mm-hmm.
Bloomfield. So, hey, I'm grateful. You know, I told Wolfie, like, I'm just a hustler. I talk to everybody. I'll
Yep.
nickel and dime it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Say, how
Yeah.
much do you
And that's
need?
it.
$1. I
Hey.
don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever you
Hey.
want to give, man.
Also too, guys, if you go to Frank's Instagram, he sells patches. So you know,
You can't
so
see
he
it. It's
so
hard.
yeah. Know what? I'll zoom in for you, Frank. Get you there. You go. Yep, there you go. The Jersey Mafia, the Jersey Cigar Mafia patches,
Yep.
and he also has some purple and
I have three
he
of
also
those.
has. Yep.
One
So
for the main club,
yep.
one for um, PTSD Awareness Month, and one
Mm-hmm.
for Suicide Prevention Month.
Yeah. Huh.
And all the money goes right to Dogs Inc.
Yep.
And
It's a real badass patch.
I was gonna wear the hat that you made for me, but I got
Yeah.
a little switch through, and I'm like,
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah. There we
gotta
go.
give you some love too
I love that. I
for
love
your
that. I
hat.
love that. Yeah.
So I figured I'd bring it out to give you a little love too for the hats that you made, and
Yeah. Yeah.
little Bowser.
Yeah. Hey, like also, my boys are in the building. If you guys don't know, I go on. I'm a part of the Cigar Avengers. We do our show every Saturday at 7:30. Frank, I think we got to have you on one day. I feel like you'll be a great guest, and the guys would definitely, enjoy you on the show.
I'd love it,
And
just to spread the word. That's all I'm here.
yeah,
Love cigars
and yeah.
and help people.
So so we're gonna jump back to Dogs Inc. But I want to go. I want to jump into your cigar journey. So
Mhm.
when was your first cigar, Frank?
My son, well, the first cigar I probably had goofing off in college sometime or whatever, but never really thought anything about it. But my son, when he was in college, he spent a little over a month in Cuba.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and he lived with a family that worked in a Cohiba factory. And he came home with a box of Cohibas and name is what's the other big cigar they have besides Cohiba?
They got
Monte
Cohiba.
Cristo.
They got
Monte
Monte
Cristo.
Cristo.
And he brought back a box of those, and
Yep.
we had our smoke together with that. So that was like a foray into
Yeah.
everything. And then COVID's what really kicked it off.
Yeah. Same here. I started. Well, Frank. Well, I'm in Newark, so you're on the other side of Jersey, like about 15 minutes away from me. But you know how it is over here on this side of
Yeah,
Newark.
that's all
So
right.
you know, but I it was the same for me. I started around COVID time, and man, I was like, it's so weird because when I got into it, like when I get into stuff, I go like really, really hardcore deep into it. Like I want to know every little thing about it. So that right there was like my real cigar journey. But before the cigars, most people won't know, but your dad used to run one of the best rock and roll clubs in Brooklyn back in the day.
Yeah, he was a part owner of Lemoore in Bay
Yeah.
Ridge, Brooklyn.
Yep.
Yep,
A
got
lot
voted
more.
number one heavy metal club through uh, I forget. It'll come to me, but of all time. So it was pretty cool. It was a good times back
It's
in the 80s.
well, I would say this, but and you probably met all these big bands. You probably met all these big bands before they were big,
Hmm.
and you probably seen them as opening acts. You're like, man, I just seen these guys 2 years ago opening up here, and
Yep,
now and now they're headlighting MSG.
yep. The big the
So
the one band that we had that did that used to play a lot was Metallica.
wow,
Yep, they used to play before they got really big.
yeah. So like, who were some of your favorites back then? Like that used to come to the club all the time when you would be there.
My favorite band to watch was Anthrax,
Mm,
the Belladonna brothers, and Scotty Ian. They were just
nice.
fun people, fun to watch, put on a good show. My all-time favorite bar band that made it big on radio but not on the touring circuit was
Yeah.
Kicks,
Mm,
like them. But in the club, we had Twisted Sister was the first band that opened this up. We had
really?
Slayer,
Wow.
Judas Priest, Guns N' Roses, Manowar.
Wow.
Um, yeah, rocking the hat.
Yes, sir. Like man, it's so different from then to now. Just when it comes to rock, because like back then it took those guys, those guys were talented. Oh, Fred said, he said, what about White Horse?
White Horse.
Yeah,
Not White Horse. We had White Lion.
White Lion. Okay.
My father's partners owned White Lion, so we used to go on tour with them whenever they played.
Wow.
I saw them open up
Mm.
for AC/DC. I saw them open up for Iron Maiden. And a couple of months ago, the lead singer, they had broken up. The lead singer, Mike Tramp, I just saw him over here in Teaneck.
Nice. What's going on, Brody? Like, let me see if I can shut this on. Uh oh, hold up. Oh no, they trying to get me. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Go. So like like I didn't. So until I really started hanging with Rob, I had no idea that there was like a hierarchy when it came to musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it came to like guitarists, like I had no idea that John Mayer was so good when it came to playing the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Or the drummer of Tool,
Mm-hmm.
what like was the man. So like until you start hanging out with people that listen and you start to understand like, oh, or the drummer from Metallica sucks, messed up all the time. Like
Yeah.
Lars, like Lars he's always messing up on stage.
Van
Van
Halen never
Halen,
played, but they came to the club one night.
nice.
We had Judas Priest. Um,
Wow.
we had Motley Crue came to the club one night.
Oh wow, Motley
They
Crue.
didn't play,
Wow.
but they came.
Wow.
And it's funny. I worked there 15 years or so through high school and college,
Yeah.
and I was pretty ignorant to the fact like people say, "Hey, you remember this guy's name?" And I don't remember names from nothing. I just know the band.
Yeah.
I don't know who sang, who's the drummer, who's this. To me, it was a job.
Yeah.
I had to get there at 8 o'clock at night, 7:30, and I didn't get home till 5:30 in the morning.
One
So
morning.
I was
Yep.
just like, I want to work and go home.
You can go home. Yep.
Work and go home. I never got into it. I only got friendly with White Lion because I knew them. I got very good friends with Anthrax and with Corey Glover from Living Color.
Oh wow. Hey,
But
did you see?
my brother on the other hand,
Yeah.
he'd go out partying all night with all the bands.
Oh wow.
Whenever Metallica played around here, James
Mm-hmm.
Hetfield would call them up. My brother would go meet them at the hotel and party with them before they went and go play and everything. That wasn't me. I was just like, I
Yeah.
just want to work, go home, and
Go.
get
Yeah.
the hell out of here.
Is that yeah? It's one of those. It's one of those things like you don't appreciate it until you're done with it.
Right.
I remember
Well,
when
that's
I
the
was.
thing. It's good and it's bad. It's bad that we didn't have cameras back then,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also good we didn't have cameras back then
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have a lot of pictures of stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
of doing things. I got a picture with Rob Halford when I was walking him back out to the van after a show from
Wow.
Judas Priest, things like that. Nothing a lot, but then again, like I said, on the other side of it with the fights and stuff, you didn't want to have
That
all that around anyway either. So it worked out
exactly.
both ways.
I believe that. It's like I remember. So I was a bouncer for a little bit at a club called Pasha. So like in New York City. Now, mind you, Pasha every weekend we were doing 10,000 people every weekend, and we were getting the biggest house music DJs. But depending on the DJ, we knew what crowd we were getting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember one time we got we would get like David Guetta. You couldn't move in there. Couldn't move. And he wouldn't come on till he would come on for an hour set. He would come in. He would come on from 2 to 4. I mean, from 2 to 3. That's it. You know. Then we would get like Daft Punk. We would also get like Quincy Jones's his kids, the guys that made that Party Rocket song. They were there. They came in and DJ'd for an hour. Couldn't man. When I tell you, so the fire department will come every weekend, and they would go up. The fire department will come, get the envelope, go and go the other way.
And go.
Yep, that guy had to be making at least 70,000 a weekend, maybe even more. The only reason it shut down was because of the fact that once their lease was up, the city voted them out.
That's how my father. Their lease was up.
Uh,
They were there for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
They just leased a building in an industrial section, and the guy
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden he saw what they were doing and just
Yep.
banged the price on it. And they were like, "Screw it,
Exactly.
we don't need it no more. We're here for
Yeah.
25 years," and they just closed
Yeah.
down.
Well, it's interesting because nobody knows about the backward the back house politics of everything. Like
Hmm.
for instance, like over at the Garden. So the tenants around that area, they're doing everything possible to move MSG from Seventh Avenue to somewhere else. They don't want it at Penn Station no more. It's like that doesn't make sense. Like it's right there.
Yeah,
They're like, oh well, it's too many people, it's too much ruckus. If those people had the choice, there'll be nothing. There'll be no attractions around. They,
yeah.
they would have no attractions nowhere.
The restaurants will close.
Yeah. So and right now, like they were in court for like 3 years for this. They keep MSG at 34th and 7th
Hmm.
because they were saying, oh well, they can move to 10th Avenue. They can move down by the Javits Center, but nobody wants to go from you know from 34th Street. Then you have to walk like 6 blocks, 6 long blocks.
It's so convenient, right where it is for everybody.
Exact. It's convenient. Uh, yeah, but
We had a funny
so
story. We had Guns N' Roses at the show, so I had to work the side stage so no one would go back to the dressing rooms and stuff. My father
yeah,
made me work there because I didn't know anybody in Brooklyn. And the guy that
yeah.
was working there before me let all his friends hang out there. My father didn't want that.
Mm,
So he put
mm-hmm,
me there, and it was a pain in the ass spot because everybody wanted to go back. I had to tell them no, this and that. You
mm-hmm,
can't go. It was a pain in the ass.
mm-hmm.
So once we played, it was called Sunday Walk in the Park, I believe, by Van Halen.
Uh-huh.
That's how we knew the band was coming on. So then I'd have to go into the back, make sure that the dressing room's empty, and then come back out to the front. So
Wow.
the band started warming up. I hear the band on the stage, Guns N' Roses tuning up. So I go
Yeah.
back there to check out the room, and Slash is passed out on the couch on his back. He's got a bottle of JD in his hand, and he's got his top hat on his face.
Wow.
And he's not moving. And I'm like, yo, Slash, you got to get going. The band's on there. Nothing. So I go over and I kick the couch, and it startles him, and his hat falls off. He was like, what are you doing? I go, the band's playing in 5 minutes. They're on stage. He goes, leave me alone. I got 5 minutes. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right. I left, went outside. The next thing you know, he comes walking on stage playing like nothing happened.
Man, Slash was one of a kind.
They all are in their own way. All the shit that they do, and then they go and
Yeah,
perform.
exactly.
I can't
Like it's
remember the
nothing.
word. I can't remember the word sober.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And these guys were high off everything,
Whatever. Yeah.
and would go out there and you would have no idea.
To answer that question, one of the bad things that happened at a club, a kid was up, climbed a stack of speakers, and went to dive into the crowd. And they usually surf, crowd surf you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
moved out of the way, fell on his face, and he killed himself.
No way.
Yeah. We were one of the first stories on Court TV when it was on TV. We were one of the
No.
first cases on
Wow.
there.
That is insane. It's now. Were you guys found liable for that?
No,
Okay, good. Yeah,
no.
because like he that's something you do at your own will.
Yeah. It's just they try saying that a bouncer pushed them.
Wow.
But that was the worst thing that ever happened there. You had your normal fights and shit and stuff like
Yeah.
that. The funny thing is the club actually started out as a disco.
Really?
It was called L'Amour Discotheque
Wow.
back in the late 70s. And it was in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. So right down the street was Sammy the Bull Gravano's club, and some of the Wise Guys kids would come in for the disco nights,
Yeah.
and they'd start problems, and there'd be fights, and then they'd come down
Mm-hmm.
to speak to my father and talk to him and his partners about what's going on and what they're doing. So they're like, you know what? We can't do this anymore. Let's go to heavy metal. None of them will show up. And they did it because
Yeah.
they didn't like that music. So that's how they switched to heavy metal.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you know what? That's that's a great story too, because like you don't gotta deal with the knuckleheads.
Yeah.
Because you know these guys are fighting over girls, and the kid gets beat up, and then you got to deal with his father. Oh, Frank, you let my boy come in here, and he got smacked up. What's going on here?
Yep.
You know, your boy's a knucklehead.
We had it. I'll never forget. We had Gloria Gaynor come in.
Wow.
She was playing. So she goes out on stage, sings a song, sings another song, and then she starts to sing. I think it was like her third song or so. And somebody threw an ice cube and hit her in the eye with it on the stage.
No
Walked
way.
off, and she walked off the stage back into the dressing room.
Yeah.
So I'm back there with my father and his partners, and she's like, I'm not
Mm.
going out there. This
Yep.
is it. I'm all done. I can't put up with this. And this was like on a Friday night. She was supposed to do a Friday show and a Saturday show.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, I'm done. He goes, all right, well, he goes to his guys, put on the lights in the in the club, tell them that the show's over and she's not gonna play no more. No one's getting their money back. And then he goes
Mm-hmm.
to Gloria, he goes, and then you can walk out through the crowd. We're not going to let you go out the back door.
Back.
You
Yeah.
got to walk through
Uh-huh.
the crowd and get out of here. So
Wow.
she looks at my father. She goes, all right, I'll go back on and play. My father puts his
Mm.
arm around her and goes, I knew you'd survive.
That's awesome. Yeah. You know, now did they ever find out who threw the ice cube? That's the one thing.
Probably not.
You
Not
know,
that I know of.
man, I got so many stories of from working at Pasha, man. Like being a bouncer is just being a babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally just a babysitter. Like a girl is trying to go home with a dude that she met. He lives all the way in Jersey. She lives in Long Island. You know, the friends are like, no, you can't go with him. You can't go with him. No, I want to go. I want to go. And
Yeah.
you gotta be like, listen, like, nah, dude, listen, like, we can't let her go with you because if something happens to her, they're gonna come back to us. And so just get her number and call the fucking day.
Yeah.
You know, like it was, and then it was always like, and mind you, back then, you know what, Fred, I do, I need a dog. I do need a dog.
Mine just went inside.
Oh my, that's beautiful. Listen, all right. So the story behind that is, last Saturday I had a rugby game up in Denville. So all week I'm like I'm gonna do some running, because I'm back in the gym. I'm back lifting. So I'm like, all right, physically I can do what I gotta do. It's gonna be more or less just it's gonna be more about me, just getting my cardio back. About 12 minutes in, Frank, I finally get a carry. First carry, man, I I break one tackle. I'm about to run through a guy. I make contact and my hamstring just goes. You.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. You know. Well, I will say maybe around 75% right now, but
That's not good.
yeah. Yeah, Fred. We know. Fred's dog just passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So his guy was 10 years old. You know, his guy was 10 years old, and you know he was saying that his hips kept going out on him,
Mm-hmm.
and so you know to not see him suffer, he found out that he had cancer, so you know he took his guy to the vet, and they had to put him down. You
We had
know,
to
it
do
just
that to my
sucks.
first dog. My first dog, we
Uh,
had to do the same thing.
yeah, you know, it's honestly like I can only imagine how much that hurts, and the dog knows.
Yeah,
You know, he knows. You know, and you know that last car ride. You know, their eyes just don't leave you.
we
You
actually had
know,
them. We actually had them come to the house, and they did it in our house,
wow, yeah, oh man,
in the comfort of our own home, instead of.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was tough.
You know, what's up, Jess? How you doing, man? You know, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can get a new dog, but it'll never replace the dog that you lost.
Nope. I'll
You
tell you
know,
crazy about when we talk about the senses that dogs have. So
uh huh,
we lost our dog, and now some time had gone by, and a friend of mine rescues dogs, and I saw her post a picture of these two puppies she had. So I told my wife, I go, look at this. And I said, I'm not going to get another dog. So we look at this puppy, we're like, oh my God, we got to get it.
oh my
So
god,
she's bringing the dog over the house.
yeah,
It was a puppy, it was a rescue from Georgia, I think. And they bring the puppy over the house, puts the
yeah,
puppy on the floor, the puppy's running all over the place. And then the
mm-hmm,
puppy runs across our house, and we have a table, and the dog runs over to the table and puts his paws on the table and looking up
yep.
at my dog's cremains. We had the dog cremated, and the
No,
dog ran
wow,
right to it and stood and stared at the box,
wow,
sort of like saying, I'm here, I'm going to take over, don't worry about nothing.
exactly, yeah,
It was
yep,
pretty cool. We were like,
yeah,
that's it, we want it. The dog
yep,
went right to the dog. It was the first thing the dog
uh,
did in the house.
yeah, it can sense them.
It
Yeah,
gets
hey,
this.
yeah, you know what? I was listen, Frank. They had one job, Frank. They had one job, beat the Cowboys and put me out of my misery. Put me out of my
They always
misery.
they always give you that hope, like, oh, wait a second, we look
Yeah,
good today
we look good today. Exactly.
with no
You know,
CD Lamb, missing 3 offensive linemen, missing
exactly.
defensive guys.
Hey, hey, now since we're on football, what happened to your Giants today, Frank?
Dude, you could have, if you're a Giant fan, you could have picked that out a mile away. You could have
Man,
picked it out a mile away.
hey, listen. What Dart had 2 or 3 turnovers today.
There was 5 total. I don't know how many he had, but there was 5.
Uh, I seen the one where he was running. He
Oh, he
just
just
dropped the
dropped the
ball.
ball. Just dropped it.
Yeah. Then that interception to the safety over the top that he
Well,
just underthrew.
what I don't understand though, the first 2 drives, the Giants looked like world beaters. Went right down the field, boom, touchdown,
Hmm.
and then all of a sudden, nothing. They changed the whole game plan.
Yeah,
Like they did
yeah.
nothing. Like I don't understand why they went away with everything that was working.
Well, I think he didn't want to use his legs as much as he did the week before.
No, but I mean the
You
play
know.
calling was horrible. The first
Oh
2
yeah.
drives, the play calling was fantastic. Then all of a sudden they went
Hmm.
away from it. I don't know. I don't know. I give up.
Yeah. But that defensive line was supposed to be like out of worldly.
Yep.
You know, like that defensive line was supposed to be second to none.
I don't get
You
it.
know, and honestly, like does Carter have a sack already?
I don't know. He may have one.
And Dexter Lawrence is You know, Dexter Lawrence is not. He's going down now.
Yeah,
Kayvon Thibodeau was never that guy.
it's just
Kayvon
not.
Thibodeau Kayvon Thibodeau is all talk. He signed checks his ass can't cash. You know,
It's I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Hey, we should have beat the Cowboys too. I mean, that was
You
ridiculous.
should have. You should have beat us.
I
You
mean,
should
it's
have beat
crazy. That
us.
happens every year. There's so many games they should win, and then they win games they shouldn't win. Like when they beat the Chargers, I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
But the Chargers look bad. I don't know. I don't know what you guys did to them, but they lost today too. They
Yeah,
lost again. You
yeah.
know. But I'll tell you this. Like I'm still not over that Micah trade, and I don't think I'll ever be over the Micah trade. Only because Michael wants to be a Cowboy.
Yeah.
It's something. It would hit a little different if he didn't want to be a Cowboy, but he wanted to be here. He wanted to finish here. That's what hurts the most.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to think of one of your guys that left. That didn't even left. That was traded because the Giants. You guys don't do a lot of trades.
No.
You guys are a very loyal franchise.
Loyal to a fault sometimes, but
Yeah. Yeah. Because there were a few guys that should have been traded that you could have got something for, and you never got rid of them.
well, that's the whole thing. Like the whole Barkley thing gets me pissed off when people say, "Oh, look at the Giants! Oh, they messed up. They gave him away." No, first of all, the Giants never should have drafted him. That was the first thing.
Hmm.
So get that straight. They should never have drafted him. Second of all, he was getting his ass beat.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
had no line,
No
and he was
line.
getting beat up all the time. The best thing that could have happened to him was leave. Now, the worst thing about leaving is that he went to the Eagles.
Hmm.
If he went anywhere else, I wouldn't have cared. But the Eagles have a great offensive line. That's why he's doing so good. We knew
You
what he
know,
could do. It's not like, oh, look what he's doing with the Eagles. He did that with the Giants for a little
know what
while.
the problem was?
And then he got beat up.
The problem with the Browns was they were so stupid. They should have went if they should have drafted Saquon one, and then and they'd have been fine with either Darnold or Baker.
Look at Baker
But
now.
uh,
I
you
mean,
know,
that's the thing too. You got to understand that just because you get a player that's good on another team doesn't mean he's going to be
mhm.
good on your team.
Hey, you guys,
Especially
you guys are eating crow right now about Daniel Jones.
well, because again, they didn't have a line. The guy almost broke his
Hmm.
neck. He got the shit beat out of him the whole time he was there. And now
Yeah,
that he went somewhere else, you can see what he could do if they had a line. I knew he was good.
yeah,
I loved Daniel Jones. It's just that he was on a shitty team.
yeah.
Look at him now. The guy's freaking. He's playing like an all pro.
You know what? Like every touchdown, man, he threw a dart today to Pittman Jr. during the game, and the Giants know how to just ruin talent.
You're right. And look at Darnold, right? Same thing with
Yeah,
the Jets. He goes
yeah,
to the
yep,
Vikings, and the guy's setting records all over the place.
yep, and he's playing good in Seattle.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it doesn't work somewhere. And like, especially with linemen, like people go, oh, wow, look,
Yeah,
they got this lineman, they got that lineman. Don't forget, he played with 4 other guys on the line.
yep.
So if he doesn't have those type of guys with him, he can't do it all by himself. It's part of a system.
Well, I will say, just speaking of, Giants that you guys that it was totally in my head because I'm trying to think of the player because and I can't remember it now. But you know, It's not Nate. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of all the guys that left. So it was Jones. The Jets can't get it right. Oh, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Aaron Glenn.
Yeah,
They're gonna run him. They're gonna run him out of town. They're gonna run him out of town before he should be. He needs time. And to me, it's not. If he gets fired at the end of this year, you know, if he gets fired at the end of the year, I'll be upset because, he should be able to get a year.
he will. He's not going to go anywhere.
I don't know, dude. Like they're saying he can't coach, the team, but it's like it's not going to be an overnight turnaround. He still has
Right.
to get his guys in here.
Exactly. I mean, that's the
Now,
one coach that people want to get rid of, but they can't, is Franklin at Penn State.
mm,
Dude,
yeah,
that guy's buyout is so big they're stuck with him.
I don't listen. Like they pay like they'll find a way.
Oh, they will, because they're not going to put up with it. That's for damn sure, because he can't beat anybody.
Well, he can't beat anybody. Texas is dead.
Well,
the second coming of Eli,
yeah,
that kid
done. He's like a
done.
deer in headlights already.
Yeah, yep, yeah. He's seeing ghosts already.
Yeah, they should. Someone should watch him for his mental health,
Yeah,
because I don't
yeah.
think he's going to be too stable.
Well, you know what the thing is. So down in Texas, I believe in Texas they were saying that he played in I think in 2A ball. Now, Fred, you can correct me on this if I'm correct. Now, how is the skill level at 2A down there, Fred?
Yeah, I don't know what that.
That
I don't know what their levels mean. 2A, 3A, 6A.
2A.
There's so many different things.
So I believe 6A is the big schools. So I think 6A is the big school. Hey, listen, yeah, I'll take that. The Broncos did something good today. I would take that. Oh, okay. So he said 2A is mediocre. Ah, so that explains it. But I did see him play against a team, and he threw 6 interceptions in that one game. And 6A is top tier.
I just don't think Texas is that good this year, period, anyway. So
Yeah. But you know who is, Frank? And I'm sorry, the University of Miami.
Miami. I know exactly what you're
Throw
going
up
to
that
say.
you. I'm saying, listen, I'm sorry we had to go and take and like they still are boys, Frank. You know I'm a bull at heart. I'm a bull at heart. But
Hey,
yeah,
listen, they beat Boise 25 in the country the first game.
yeah, yeah,
Then they go to Florida and beat up
yeah,
Florida in their own place. That's pretty
yeah.
impressive stuff right there.
Hey, you know what? And in 2 years they'll have their own stadium.
Yep.
I
mean, it's
that
pretty impressive what they did.
I would say this that kid, that quarterback, man, if you ask me, he's a first rounder.
Byron Brown.
That kid is a first rounder. That kid is legit. Like, he's big, he breaks tackles.
They have
He can make
two pro wide receivers too.
yeah, that kid. But hey, before I told you about him last year. You're like, man, I just hope we can keep him. We were saying the same thing. We're both saying, I hope he stays. I hope he stays. I hope he stays. The tough part is going to be, does he take that big NIL money, or does he leave to the NFL?
Well, my son thinks he'll leave for the NFL.
Yeah,
because he was loyal. He got offered a ton of NIL money, and he said that USF's the only school that recruited him, and he stayed with him. So that says a lot about the kid. He's a good kid. He loves it there. He's getting the exposure. You know what I mean? What more? He's playing all the top teams, and he's doing great against them. So,
hey, listen, and also too, man, you're in Tampa, Florida, and I love Tampa. Love Tampa. Anytime I go to visit my son, Tampa is one of my favorite places to go, man. Like, for me, it'd be like Tampa, then Miami. Like, I love being in Miami too, but Tampa kind of feels like home a little bit. Can't lie.
Tampa's great. I love Tampa. We're
Uh,
going
Tampa
down
is
a month from today. We'll be down there.
oh nice. Well, I'll be back down there for senior night for my son. So I'll be down there maybe February, maybe probably the beginning of February. I'll be down there in Tampa for to walk him out for senior night.
Yeah,
You
we're
know,
going down. Um, we're going down on a Wednesday. That
yep.
Thursday night, USF is playing home. It's their salute to servicemen night,
Right.
and then that Friday, I got invited through Dogs Inc. They have their biggest fundraiser of the year called Pups on the Rocks. So I got
Amazing.
invited to go down there for it from Bobby,
Nice.
and they're letting me go, my son, one of his coaches, and two players on the football team to represent to go over to this. They raised like $4 million at this fundraiser.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's amazing.
So it worked out perfect that we're going to the
Yeah.
game on Thursday. They'll
Yep.
be off on Friday, so they can come to the dinner with us then.
Yep.
And I just got
Oh, nice.
Dogs Inc. Cornerstone Society, Jersey Cigar
Partner.
Pop. We
Yeah.
became a partner due to our donation. So we're officially on their
Amazing.
wall for all the
That
donations that we're doing and everything. So
that's great.
yeah, I can't wait to go.
It's one thing too. It's like I have a friend out in I believe Wes is out in. I know he's in Oklahoma, so I'm not sure if he. Oh, he's in Oklahoma City. So he's a part of the canine unit, and so he has his new canine named Taz, and his canine before that, um, his canine before that, you know, they're retired, so now they're just a house dog now. But they say that those two they can't even see each other. No, they'll they'll go and they'll fight to the death.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
we
it's
um
it's it's territory for them.
we have they raise dogs for Gold Star families as well as the veterans.
Wow. Yeah.
The Gold Star families are families that lost a loved one in combat or for what's there. So it's a service dog for the family itself.
That's amazing. I'm surprised that the military they haven't adopted that model yet.
It's tough.
You know?
There are a lot of police departments now getting service dogs just for the office. So when
Yeah.
officers go out there, they come back and the dog's there to calm them down and to
Yeah.
so like they do in hospitals. They have the dogs
Yeah.
in the hospitals.
Yeah.
They're starting to bring them into fire departments. So they're around them to keep good morale
Yeah.
and everything
You
that's
know,
there. So it's a good
it,
thing.
it keeps the spirit up. So one of my coworkers, she used to bring her dog in the whole hotel would go to the sales office to see the dog. By 1 o'clock, that dog would be pooped. I'm talking about done sleeping. Like and I was sort of yeah. So I believe so like my ex, she had a Boston Terrier, but she had a runt, so it was a very very small Boston Terrier. Her Terrier is big. She's a big girl,
Mm-hmm.
but you know she goes up. She doesn't bark. She sits there and she's just spoiled. Spoiled rotten. So it's great. It's great for people to have those kind of things. Especially when like you may feel like the world is just beating you down.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's coming at you, like nothing's going right, and you come home, or you go to the office, and that dog looks at you and you just melt.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the thing with my brother. He was supposed to come with me that July to Dogs Inc.
yeah, wow.
And who knows what would have happened. But
Hmm. Hey, you know what, Frank? You want to show your tattoo?
yeah, it's hard. You can't see it here. I can't.
Yeah, you can't really see it, but
Yeah, it's not going to be
Frank.
able to.
Yeah, Frank has an amazing tattoo done for his brother that has his badge number. You know, it was really it's actually a really nice and cool tattoo. You know, like to me, like I'm a big family person. Like, and I'm big on family and friends because I always feel like you treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yep.
So I would I always try to give people a warm greeting, make them feel at home. Never make them feel like they're bothering me, because at there might be a time when you might need that lift up, and so I always feel like you want to be able to come in and be welcomed by people. You know what I forgot, Frank? Upstairs,
What's that?
that bottle of alcohol, because I still haven't opened it yet, and I was like, you know what? Like, I know I'm gonna have Frank on the podcast. Let me save it for when I have Frank on. Because one, because there's a few things that me and Frank connect on. If you guys don't know, me and Frank love bamboo. We love bamboo. You know, and
Yep.
you know, and we sit there and we talk sports all the time, talk cigars, and I love hearing the stories from Frank about Dogs Inc. Because it's an amazing. Oh, there we go. Let me make it big for the people. Hold up. There we go. Up there. That's perfect right there.
Yep.
Up the final leg. Yeah, man. That is, that is a nice tattoo.
It was. You know what? I had to do it because it's the only way that made me know that it was final. Because I didn't think it happened.
Hmm.
I thought it was a dream, and then I did it, and it's a reminder that it happened, and we got to move on.
I think you know, like, and for me, I would say the one thing that I wish that, like, my stepfather. So he passed away. When he passed away, me and my cousin had just picked up his father, and we were bringing his father to, we were bringing my grandfather to his house, and he wasn't answering the door. So we went around. We snuck it. We broke in through the window, and then I'm going around. I'm looking, and he's there on the floor dead, and he had a seizure.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those things, like, never forget. And it
Yep.
just sucks, you know.
And
And
the cool thing about all of this, like you said, is we're all brought together by this,
yeah,
right?
by the leaf. Yep.
It
Yeah.
all brings us together
All
about
brings
it.
us together.
To tell you a great thing about the cigar, I say family. It's not a
Yeah.
community anymore because to me, it's
Uh huh.
become more like a family.
Uh huh.
And most of the people that I associate with in the cigar world is like this. I never meet them.
Yeah.
We see each other occasionally, so that's
Yeah.
good. But most of the people we talk to, they're from
We
other
don't see it.
states. They're from all over the place.
So that's
So
it's funny. It's funny you say that, because like the guys that I do the podcast with every Saturday, like, I still haven't met. I still haven't met Fred or Lawrence. I met Keelan one time when he came to New York. I met Marvin when he came here to New York. I tell everybody in the cigar community, if you're part of any Discord, if you're in New York, if you're in the tri-state area, let me know. I will find a way to try to come see you.
Yeah.
I will find a way to come see you.
And a great
And
little story with that, with the cigars and meeting people. There's this guy, his name's Bruce Weigel. He's from Wyoming. And he owns Silent Hero
oh,
cigars. Now, he was in the service
oh,
and he calls it Silent Hero because of PTSD. That
wow,
it's the silent killer that the heroes go through and they keep it to themselves. So he named his company
exactly.
Silent Hero. And when he was in the service, he ran a drone division
Wow.
and he had 12 guys in it, and 4 of the 12 committed suicide already.
Oh,
He tried to commit suicide 2 times himself.
wow.
So he started this company and he donates part of all his proceeds to PTSD organizations. So I see him on Instagram one day and I just messaged him. I said, hey, you know what? I love what you're doing. Congratulations. I gave him my phone number. I said, you can always call me if you ever want to talk. Never met him or nothing.
Yeah.
Told him my story about my brother and everything. So then a couple of nights later, my phone rings and I pick it up and it's him.
Wow.
And we start talking. And he's like, listen, I have my own cigar line. I have one more cigar. And I want to know if I can name it after your brother.
Wow.
Now, I never met him in my life. Never anything. Just by hearing my story, he wanted to name a cigar after my brother. So he goes,
Wow.
what do you think? I said, no, you can't. And he goes, why? I said, because it might taste like shit and I don't want my brother's name associated with it. And it was dead silence on the other end of the phone. I didn't know if I was kidding.
Yeah, or if you're serious.
And I said, and he started to laugh. I said, dude, I'm breaking your chops. I
Yeah.
said, send me 1 or 2. Let me smoke it and see what it's like.
Yeah.
And it's his #1 seller right now.
That's amazing.
It's called the Blend 88 for my brother's badge number. 088.
Wow. That's amazing.
And not knowing someone and doing that, which is part of your livelihood, is how you make a living and what you're doing, and you want to associate me with it. My family was floored. I mean, what more respect can you get from that? He didn't know me from Adam. He still doesn't. We just talk on the phone. We'll talk on the computer. And he went and did that. And dude,
that's amazing.
But that's the type of people that we have in the cigar community.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not a part of it, it's hard to explain it to someone because they don't get it. What's up, Big Zig? But that's it, like Big Zig right here.
Yeah.
Great guy. He lives near me here.
Yeah.
I met him through the Barrel Burners. And he works for Knights of Columbus. He just raised $100 for me, gave me a check a couple of weeks ago.
That's amazing.
Now he's doing something else through the Knights of Columbus to raise some more money for us through a Dogs Inc. And people that just care, and they do things. And Zig's had a tough time himself, personally, with his family and stuff, and himself. And there's a million other things that he could be doing, but he still wants to help others, which is phenomenal. It's I don't know what I'd do without people like that. You know what I mean? That you can talk to and lean on, and that
it's that support system.
Yep.
The support system is everything.
Yeah.
Like that, without support, you can't do anything in life. You can. Some people try, but it's not a good thing to go through the world alone.
No, it's not, and you
You
shouldn't have
know.
to. You know,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to. There's a I and now when I speak, whatever I speak about any of this, this is my own
Yeah.
personal thought. I
Yep.
don't think other people should think that way, and I
Yep.
always do a disclaimer that I am not a veteran.
Yep.
I was never a police officer. I lived the life of a police officer through my brother. I lived
Mm-hmm.
through PTSD through my brother, and I lived through the unfortunate of my brother, ending his life due to PTSD. So I speak on just my personal feeling on it, and I feel that it's a sign of weakness if you don't talk about your problems. It's
Mm-hmm.
a sign of strength if you do talk about it, because that means that you're getting it out there and then people can talk to you and help you. It does no good keeping it inside.
At all.
No, not
Yeah.
at all. It doesn't do anything, and you need to do that. And my brother was a great actor. Whenever in the beginning, we knew like it was 24 hours. Mike, you all right? What are you doing? How's everything? What's going
Yeah.
on? Let me know what's happening. You don't have to
Yeah.
do this and that. Then he started the podcast, and he was on the podcast for a few years, and
Yep.
we're like, his life turned around.
Yeah.
He was talking about PTSD. He was talking about suicide. He saved people's lives that wanted to do it, and they would come on the show
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Listen, thank you. You saved me." And I called my brother the plumber because every time
Mm.
the plumber came home, his wife would go, "Jesus Christ, the sink's been broken for freaking 3 months, and you don't fix it." But meanwhile, he'd fix everybody else's sink in the entire neighborhood.
Yep.
That's how he was. He helped everybody else and neglected himself.
Wow. Yeah.
And he put
But
up
you
a
know what?
strong front, and we think he's okay, but it's when he went home at night by himself. And that's the hard
Mm-hmm.
part when you're by yourself and you're just listening to those voices and things in your head. And you don't have anyone over there to talk to you. And
Yep.
if you don't reach out, it consumes you. And drinking didn't help because it made him drink a little more. So you know
Yeah.
what it is. You don't think right when you're drinking. So
Yo.
it makes
Yep.
whatever's going on in your head seem true.
Yep.
And you don't differentiate the real world and the world that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And Zig's right. If you do talk about it, you feel like you're burdening other people because you can't
Yeah.
do it yourself. And like me, I have people that have been suffering from it that will call me every now and then. And I have a lot of friends that say, "Oh, man, I hope someone doesn't call me. I wouldn't know what to say." You don't need to say anything. Just let them talk.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's all they need. Don't ever offer advice because you don't know what they're going through,
Yeah.
and just listen. Like with Bryce.
Yeah.
Bryce called me up one night. We were on the phone for almost 2 hours. And we got done. He goes, "Frank, I really needed this. Thank you so much. I appreciate talking with you." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Bryce, not a problem." I didn't say one word the entire
Yep.
time.
What's
I
up,
didn't say a
Steven?
word. I was just there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
And
all
but
you got
that's
to do is just be there.
and and it's support.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day. Sometimes you just gotta say, "I got you."
Hmm.
When you feel weak, just know I'm here. I got you. You know, like
And don't judge.
and
You can't be judged.
yeah,
I'm non-judgmental. That's what I
yeah,
tell everyone. I don't care what you tell me. I'm not going to think any differently of you because there's
yep,
reasons why that's happening, and I'm not
yep,
here to judge why. I'll
yeah,
listen. I'll keep it to me. I won't say nothing to no one. Just
hmm,
get it out and talk because there's no
yeah,
good keeping it in.
yeah. You know, it's it's tough. Because like my brothers, they'll call me, and my mom is sick, so and they go, I know it's a lot on you to deal with mom. I go, it is. I go, it is. But at the end of the day, like the weight's on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the end of the day, I'm always like, listen, like if I can go and make you guys' life easier, that's all I care about. Like that's the kind of person I am for my brothers. Like when they don't have it, I'll go without, so this way they have it.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's hard. Like Frank, so last night I was telling a story about my mom, and so the other night I get home from work. I worked a double, and she didn't have any cigarettes. So and I get home. She's like, "Did you bring home cigarettes?" I go, "No, I'll get them for you tomorrow." So I I go before I lay down. I have a cigar, and I noticed that one of my cigars is missing, but it's a rare cigar. It's a rare cigar. You know, it's a rare cigar, and I'm like, damn it. So I go, Mom, you take one of my cigars? She goes, yeah, it's right here. She goes, I couldn't smoke it. She didn't cut the cap on it. And I'm sitting there, and mind you, I am fuming, fuming. Because I'm like, out of all the cigars I got 50 million cigars here. 50 million. And the one that you want to smoke is the rare one. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you got it. So I go and I go, all right, you know what? Since she went and she lit it already, let me go. I cut the cap on it. I start smoking the cigar, Frank, and I go, like, my head just drops. And I go, this is one of the best cigars I've ever had. It's a cigar from I believe the company is called Ezra and Zion. It's called the Bee's Knees, the 2024. Man, when I tell you that cigar was, and everybody like the whole group has one, and they go, man, I had no idea. I had no idea. Now they're like, oh well, I guess I'm going to be smoking that cigar this week. I go, listen. I go, when you smoke it, think of me. When you smoke it, think of me, because man, I tell you, like my mom is something else. She is. It's honestly it's like having a little kid again.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to tell her no, no, you can't do this, mom. No, you can't do that. You take your pills. Did, did you do your exercise? Because her exercise is basically because she had 2 strokes. So I tell her, I'm like, like take the stairs. I'm like, I want you to walk the stairs 3 times. This way you can build up your leg strength. Did you do the stairs? And she'll lie and say yes, she did. But then on the weekends, I'm like, you sure? Are you sure you're doing the stairs? Because if I test you right now, if I test you right now, are you gonna pass or are you gonna fail? And she goes, well, I'll be tired, and then she'll go, I'm scared I'm gonna fall. And I go, Mom, you're not gonna fall. You gotta have confidence in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta have confidence in yourself. So, then every day, like we went to the doctor a few weeks ago, and her blood pressure was through the roof. So it's one of those things where it's like I got to tell my brother, I'm like, listen, like I need a break. But then when I ask for a break, they go, well, I'm busy this weekend, and it's like, all right, well, I guess it's just stuck on me.
Yeah.
So
We become the parent and they become the child.
yeah, yep,
I'm
mm-hmm,
going through that with my dad now. My dad's
yeah,
88,
yep,
and I go through
mm-hmm,
it. I just had to. He was the strongest man I ever known in my life,
yep,
and it kills me to see him, as he is now and getting
yeah,
weak and how it is. And I had to tell him he can't drive anymore. It was the worst thing I had to
yeah,
do. He fought me tooth and nail.
yeah,
And I said,
yep,
no.
exactly. You
I said,
can't you
no,
can't
I'm
do it.
sorry.
Yep. If you need a ride, I'll take you. I'll
And
come
I
get
do
you.
it 2 or 3
Yep.
times a week. I'm driving
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes out to him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, see, you wouldn't have to do this if I drove. I said, Dad, I
Yeah.
can trust you to get in a car. Don't worry about it. I'll
Exactly.
do it. It's my turn
You
to
know
take
what?
care of you.
That's the thing. It's my turn to take care of you. And you know what? And you go, and you know what? And at that time, it's those moments that you guys have together in that car ride, and you sit there and you're able to reminisce on memories and talk about some of his favorite stuff. You
He
know,
just
and
said that the other day. He goes, "You know
yeah,
what? It isn't so bad that you're driving because now I get to see you more."
yeah,
I said, "Okay."
exactly. Yeah, yep. You know, he gets to see you more. You know, he can go up and you know you guys can sit there and talk Yankees and yeah. And speaking of
Yep.
those, oh my God, Frank,
Don't
the
even.
season's season's over.
I
Season's
don't
over.
want to.
Yeah, hey, just you know what, man, you bring up a great point, man. You bring up a great point. Yep, that's it. We just sometimes people just want to be heard.
Yep.
You know,
Hey, the best thing
like
that's why I always believe, you were given two ears and only one mouth.
mm-hmm.
So listen a little more instead of just offering advice. Some people don't
Yep,
want an advice. Just
yeah,
listen.
yeah,
You can learn a lot more by listening than if you kept your mouth shut.
exactly, exactly. You know, it you know it's so crazy because I like one of my favorite memories is my dad. He would pick me up in his car and he would go and he would take me to the rich neighborhoods, like the big houses in New Rochelle. Then he'll take me through Scarsdale, and then and he goes, if you go and you make it big, you can buy one of these, you know.
Hmm.
But that time, it was more about just us just being there and just hearing and just listen to him talk. And
Hmm.
we would be there. We would be sitting there talking Knicks, talking Yankees, and then talk and a lot of times it was why do you do such stupid things? He goes, why are your grades so bad? How come you just can't apply yourself to school? And I would sit there, and the problem was, so all the girls in my family are smart. All the girls in my family got skipped. They all got skipped. They all went to college, and all the boys not and all the boys in the family are knuckleheads.
Hmm.
We're all knuckleheads, and and I go and I would try to use that as a get out of jail free card. I'm like, but dad, like my cousin's not doing good, but you're not him. But my
Right.
other cousin's not doing good, but you're not him.
He's not
You
my
know
son.
exactly, exactly. You know, yeah. Oh man, William, that's rough, man. Like all
Yes,
like all
Big
like all
Zig.
like yeah, Zig, man. It's tough just because of the fact, man. It's like especially with autism, like it's frustrated at the fact that they don't have a cure for it, and about time that the person remembers, they forget the next day.
Yeah.
The second that things come back to them, and it's not like you can go and take pictures and show them pictures that can just go and just spark that part of the brain. It's really sad, and it's really frustrating when it comes to autism. Not autism,
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's. You know,
Yeah. It's like when my father calls me now, I'll let it go to voicemail
yeah,
so he can leave me a message and I save them. So I'll
yeah,
always have something there
yeah, yep,
for the future.
yeah, yeah. You know, I only have one or two messages saved from my mom. The other ones I delete because it's always hey, on your way and it's the same message every time. Hey, on your way back on your way back from work, can you bring home something sweet? And I have to call. No, you cannot have. No, like I got you one thing for the day. That's it. That's all you can have. Because like If it was up to her, she wouldn't eat regular food. She would just sit and eat sweets all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah. So like it's ah, got some videos of Austin.
That's his son.
Nice.
His son
Oh,
passed,
nice. Oh
so he
my
has
God.
videos he saved. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, Big Z. Oh man. You know what? I think that's every father's fear, having to bury his son, or having to
Yep.
bury any child is any father's biggest
Yep.
fear. You know, like all through life, the only thing that we want is to have good kids. That's all we really we want to hear as fathers is,
Yep.
like, man, like, you know what, like, you raise, like, he's like, oh, like, when people like, man, like, your son's such a good kid. And luckily, like, everybody that I meet, especially for my oldest son, you know um my younger son, everybody just says he's so quiet. He's a pleasure. He's very, very quiet. My oldest son, everybody just goes, they go, man, he's a pleasure. Like, his wrestling coach, the team dad. He goes, listen. He goes, I'll do anything for Innocent. He goes, he's such a good kid. He goes, you raised an amazing young man. And I go, like, I'm like, yeah, like, but like, growing up, I was the same way. Like, people always say, like like your son's your son's he's a great kid. Like, he's always respectful. He never goes up, and he's never disrespectful. And those are things that, like like you sit back and you're like, man, all right, like, I did a good job. Because the one thing I always wanted to hear from my dad was, the only thing I really wanted to hear from my dad was that I'm doing a good job, that I'm doing a
Mm-hmm.
good job as a father. You
Yep.
know, and my dad is he's a man of few words. Like, he does when it comes to emotion, he doesn't really speak on emotion. But, like, and now he's so off. Frank, he's so soft now. He's so soft, man. Like, whatever my kids want, he just goes up and just buys it for them. He's always like, "Oh, you need money," and I'm like, if I was his age, not asking for money, it'll be, "Did you earn it?
Exactly.
Did you earn it?" Why should I be giving you money? For them, it doesn't matter what they do. Like,
Yep.
they'll get in trouble, and do you want me to call your lawyer? Yeah, call my lawyer. Call my lawyer. And I would go up, and I'd be like, hey, I'm like, Dad, he did this and this. Leave him alone. No, but leave him alone. I don't care. I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him. And then he'll give him the little, hey, just don't do it again, all right? I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. I'll take care of your dad. I'll take care of your dad. Don't worry about it. I got you. And I'm like, man,
The funniest thing
yeah,
my father
yeah,
used to say to me and my brother growing up,
yeah.
he goes, "You think you and your brother were good kids growing up?" I'm like, yeah. He goes, "Well,
Uh
then I hope you have kids exactly like yourself." And then it makes you think. You're like, "Oh
yeah,
shit, I did a lot of stupid stuff growing up, man."
exactly, exactly. Yep. You know, but you
That's
know
what.
what, man? That's what life is about.
Yeah. I
Oh man, Darshawn is in the building. One of my boys, Darshawn, is in the building. The snowman is here. Oh man, here we go. You know, it's one of those things where you think back and you're just like, man, luckily I never got into too much trouble where I had to deal with the law and nothing like that.
Mhm.
You know, well, it just makes you think back, like, damn. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he doesn't do this. Hopefully he doesn't do that like I did. You
I
know.
I my whole, like, it's funny when I had that event at Sanj's.
Yeah.
The event was over. Sanj locked up, let us stay outside in the back. There was like 10 of us,
Mm-hmm.
and my son was there with three of his friends, my youngest son, and we were just having some drinks and eating and just hanging
Yeah.
out in the back, smoking
Yeah.
cigars. And I went over to my son and his friends, and they said, "Oh, Mr.
Yeah.
Fillets, I'm glad you're here." We were just
Uh-huh.
talking about success. We were asking each other what your definition of success is. And
Mm-hmm.
since you're here, we want to know what your definition is of success. And I said, all right. I said, it may not be what you're going to think it's going to be, but I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you. I said, it's not money. It's not a house. It's not cars. To me, as a parent, success is knowing that should anything happen to me and my wife tomorrow, my kids will be okay.
Yep.
And that's all you want. They can handle
Mm-hmm.
themselves, they can take care of themselves, they can navigate themselves through life, and everything will be okay. And to me, that's
Yep.
success because that's what you want. You
Mm-hmm.
want your kids to be able to grow up, be respectful adults,
Yep.
work hard, and do what they have to do. And I said, that's success to me is that you do that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep. Because
that's what you can
because
ask for, right?
yeah, people think success is having the biggest house in the block.
Yeah. It's not a title, it's none of that
Yeah.
stuff.
No. Success is knowing that when you that if you have kids, if you have a family, that when you leave, they're taken care of. That
Yep.
your lineage, that like I always say it, it's like legacy. You know, like legacy. Legacy is the biggest thing. And I remember I was when my oldest son was here this summer, and me and him were walking. What's going on, Sid? He was saying, and he would always say, "Oh, you're so much harder on me than my brother." And I look at him, I go, you know why, innocent? Because when people look at you, they don't just see me, they see your grandfather. I go, you're the third, so you're carrying on your grandfather's name, not just me. So it's not just me that people look at. They
Mhm.
look at your grandfather because they say, "Oh, innocent the third. Oh, so this is you know this is something carried on." And then he looked and he stopped and he looked up at the sky and then he goes, "I understand now. All right." And since then, like like I'm very I'm pr- I, like I'm too hard on him, and I'm pretty sure at the shop you would hear Patty say, "Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone. You're too hard. You're too hard." And I'm like, "Nah, Patty. He has to be the nah." Like, and I go, I'm like, "Listen, I don't need him to win states. I just want him to qualify. I just want him to be able to whenever he has his last match, he can live with himself and say, I gave it all. I didn't
Yep.
underachieve." You know, like that's the thing. Because it's not because you never want your kids to sell themselves short, and
Nope.
also quit on things. It's like once you sign up for it, you're going through it.
Yep. I was
You
the
know,
same with my kids.
yeah,
You're finishing.
you're
You may not
finishing,
do it
yeah.
again, but you're going to finish it.
And you
And
know
then,
what? Hey, and you know what, Frank, and you can always, and the one thing you can say is to your kids is, hey, listen, like the one thing you can say is, and you can always tell your kids this is, I won a state championship. But hey, how many championships your boys got at Bosco? Did they get?
my youngest had two at DePaul,
Okay.
and my oldest had 3 state championships and 2 national championships.
Wow. See, the problem there is that when he has a son, he's gonna tell his son,
Yep,
you know, I want a national championship.
2.
You know, 2. So, you know, you got some work to do. You
Yeah,
know, you got some
between the
work to
3
do.
of us, we have 6. We have 6 state championships between the 3 of us.
Wow. So you won 2 as well.
I won 1. My
Okay.
youngest won 2, and my oldest won
I just
3.
won 3. Yeah. Wow. So did you play for Bosco or you
I played at Seton Hall Prep.
okay. Really? That's interesting because Seton Hall Prep really isn't known because you know the 2 big dogs
Bosco and Bergen.
yep.
When I was growing up, when I was in high school, Seton Hall Prep was the Bosco of the time.
Oh, okay. Wow.
It was us
So
and
what
Bergen Catholic every year when I was there in the state championship.
so what happened to Seton Hall Prep?
It's a small school. They don't run it. They don't run the football program like they do Bosco and Bergen and bring kids
Yeah.
in all over the place. And
Uh-huh. And that's the thing too is and so like how's that work that whole national schedule? Because I know you guys like because during the season you guys are traveling out of state. You guys don't play a New Jersey schedule.
no, we play Jersey schedule, but
Okay.
they allowed them to set a certain amount of out of state games.
Okay.
Like my oldest, when he was at Bosco, he played in California,
Mm-hmm.
Alabama, Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
He played all
So
over the place.
so how do they determine the national championship? Because I believe it's 16 schools, right? In that conference?
In which one?
Because
Bosco's?
yeah, because I know it's like 3 schools out of California.
No, there's a lot. I mean, they have like a top 25. Well, they do like a top
Oh,
100 in the country,
really? Wow.
and they rank them before the season starts.
Okay.
And as they just like the regular polls, they move up as they
Okay.
win and lose and do things. And his sophomore year, they were national champs, and then
Wow.
his junior year, going from his sophomore year to junior year, they lost 32 seniors.
Wow.
So they finished sophomore year as number 1 in the country.
Wow. Yeah.
Junior year, they had him ranked far back because they lost all those seniors, and they finished 3 in the country. So they should have been national champs 3 years in a row, really.
Wow. Oh my. Wow.
And then senior year, they won it all.
You know what's funny? So I tell my son all the time because my son wrestles in Tampa, and I tell him, if if you wrestled in Jersey, you'll be a fish. I go if you wrestled up here, if you wrestled up here in the tri-state, you'll be a fish. He goes, oh whatever, blah blah blah. No, Florida wrestling is good. I go, listen, it's a whole different animal up here.
Yeah, it is.
It's a whole different animal up here. You know, like 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 I always thought cause you know in high school you really don't you know about Pennsylvania, but I didn't know that Jersey was just as good or even better than New York.
Jersey's.
Sorry. You know, like Jersey, you know, Jersey can go toe to toe with Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You know.
Especially when it comes to football. People don't understand how good the football is around here.
Oh wow. Sid got a ring over at he said senior year they against Bosco. Uh-huh.
Oh, he played at St. Peter's Prep.
That's it. At St. Peter's Prep. Uh-huh. Yeah.
My son's school, his 4 years there, they went undefeated in 4 years.
I believe.
2
Wow.
years before he went there, they were undefeated. So they went 6 straight years without losing a game.
Wow. You know what? It's so crazy because of the fact that, like I told you, like I grew up in New Rochelle, so we had a powerhouse football team. We had a powerhouse football team. We had a powerhouse for maybe 7-8 years, and then they fired the head coach during that whole Me Too thing. In the program, we have recovered since. Mind you, Frank, we got 8,000 kids in that school.
That's Ray Rice, right? New
Yep.
Rochelle?
Yes, sir. Yep. Yep. Ray Rice, Courtney Green went to Rutgers with him too. Man, man, during his tenure, he got 2 state championships. You know, it's crazy just because of the fact that we were so dominant from like maybe '06 to maybe 2017, and then they fired the coach, and now the head coach, he went to Iona Prep, and now Iona Prep is out there being ranked in the nation now.
Yeah, Bergen Catholic was ranked number 9 in the country last week, and Bosco beat them.
Wow.
Yep. Now Bosco is number 1 in the state.
Mm. Now there's another powerhouse down in South Jersey.
Yeah. Public school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think.
Think of the name.
It's a weird name.
Yeah.
But that school won the states last year.
Bergen Catholic beat them this year.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's so crazy because Patty goes to every Bloomfield game. Patty's there.
Okay.
Yeah, Patty goes to every Bloomfield football game. Patty's there. But Patty grew up in Newark. You know, and we like Patty, man. You wasn't running around with the mob guys back in the '60s. Goes, no. You know, yeah, man. It's one of those things. Like kids, they don't appreciate it until after. Like because I tell my son, I go, listen, I was good. I could have qualified for states. If I go, if I had all that training that you got, I would have qualified for states. And he goes, yeah, but and he'll make a smart remark. Oh, but it's my time now. It's my time, and I'm going to show you.
A lot is coaching too.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Like you got to get what you can out of the athletes. Like,
yep.
From my son being when he was at Bosco, his offensive coordinator is now the defensive coordinator for the Jaguars.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Anthony Campanile. And his brother is the assistant head coach at Syracuse.
Wow.
And his other brother is the head coach at Bergen Catholic. And his other brother is the head coach at DePaul. That's some family football right there.
Yeah, you ain't lie about that. Hey, just listen. I told you what's going down when I get down there, man. When I get down there, the goal is when I touch down in Tampa, I should be around 220, 225. So he don't worry, you're gonna see the tape. You're gonna see the tape. Like, it's crazy because you never know. Like, this might be his last year down in South Florida. Another school might just try to pick him up.
We'll see. I just take it week to week,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever happens is gonna happen.
Like it's so crazy just that like a coach's life is one of those things where you can never get comfortable.
No,
You know, at that level, at a college level, you can never get comfortable. You
nope.
know, at high school, you have a lot more stability. You can have back to like years of just losing seasons because of the fact it's like your excuse is I don't got the kids.
Right.
The kids don't sign up. The kids don't go here. You know, it, but in college, it's like they'll go up and they'll throw a bag of money at you because pretty soon, because Purdue's gonna be looking for a new coach.
Yeah.
Purdue's gonna be looking for a new coach. Wisconsin's gonna be looking for a new coach.
I mean, look at Clemson, right? Debo Sweeney's done
Oh
everything down there, and
yeah,
he's like, listen, who's gonna win more than I won down here, man?
uh huh,
He goes, I've had winning season every year. What do you want me to do?
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's amazing. People win and they're still not happy. Only
At
one team
all
can be national champion.
every year,
That's
and
it.
and, and he got you too.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a guy, and his motto is, "I don't want kids to the transfer portal. If I recruited you and I got you, I want you here at Clemson for 4 years." Because he goes, I'm not creating football players. I'm creating men.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of people don't think like that. A lot of people are like, "Oh, like you have to win." It's like Kalen DeBoer at Alabama. You know, you want to talk about the hardest job in college football? That right there is the hardest job in college football. You know, because if you don't win, they're getting you out of there.
Yep.
That is the worst. Because if because no matter how much you win, they only expect championships now.
Speaking of college football, did you see on Amazon Prime Video the documentary on the cocaine quarterback?
No.
Dude,
But that's
crazy.
that's the kid that's the guy that went to Miami, right?
No, he went to USC.
Oh yes, okay. Because I seen Lindell White.
Yep, he was a actually a volleyball player,
Wow.
and he went out for the volleyball team, and the coach is like, you got to. He could run good, he can jump. He goes, you got to get a little bit bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
So he started dealing steroids
Wow.
and got huge. And he went to an open tryout with the football team and made it.
Yeah. Wow.
And then he started to work for the cartel.
Wow.
And he just got out of prison in 2024. Dude, crazy. He was working with like millions of dollars.
Wow. Wow.
It's only 3 episodes. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Owen Hansen, I think his name is. They used to call him Big O.
Wow.
And he supplied steroids to everybody.
Wow. Hey, well,
Take care, Zig. Have a good night.
all right, Zig, have a good one. What's his name? Because did Brian Krisher go to USC?
I don't know.
Because Brian Krisher always got caught. That it wasn't the concussion.
Yeah. He's from Bergen Catholic.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Jersey boy.
Yep. But
Man,
this is back when Bush was the running back, White.
Yeah. Yep.
Leinart was the quarterback. I'm telling you, you got to watch. It's a must see.
I gotta check it out.
knowing all the stuff that
because
was going on back in the day,
well,
and no one knew it.
well, here's the thing. That was the reason why Kush was kicked out the NFL. It wasn't he kept failing drug tests. And it's one of those things where you know once he got popped, that stuff it doesn't leave your system. So anytime they piss test them, it always came out hot.
Brian
You
Kush.
know,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, did he play with your son?
No,
Okay,
my son came in right after that.
okay, man. What? And didn't one of the Giants' offensive linemen go there?
No,
Uh,
the Jets' long snapper went to Bosco,
okay.
and his brother plays, I think, for the Falcons. His brother's in the NFL too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, listen, my jersey still hung up to Sean. Don't worry, my jersey still hung up. All right. Unlike, listen, I know how you are. So you'll come on the show next week and you'll say, man, so what happened was, she went through my phone or, oh man, like one of her friends was trying to get with me and, so that's what happened. So next week you're going to have a whole story on why you and your girl broke up. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. Like so so Frank, last time he said that, we put a bet in the chat on how long his relationship is gonna last. Somebody said a month. Somebody gave him 3 months. Somebody was generous and gave him 6 months. It was a week later.
Oh,
Oh, even worse. Oh my God, this guy. Darshawn, did you ever hear the saying, "What happens in the dark comes to the light"? So even if you try to hide it, somehow, some way, you're gonna get caught up. All right. Yeah, but it's an amazing. Well, just to go back to you know the whole thing with the whole Dogs Inc. thing. You
mm-hmm.
know, like how like when your wife seen you get so involved with it, like what was her initial thoughts on it?
She loved it. Well, when they asked me to run Jersey Cigar Mafia, it took me a week of talking to her and letting her know because you see me, I come over to the shop, I
Yeah,
go out 2 nights, 3 nights a week to talk about it
yeah,
and do
yeah,
everything. And she knows that it's personal. You know what I mean? It's not
yeah.
just going out there to do it. Like I have
It's a passion project. Yeah,
something behind it now because of my
yeah,
brother,
yeah,
and she's 100% behind it. Every time we go down there, we go to Dogs Inc.
yeah,
She loves dogs and she loves the cause, and it makes it easier, And I always
yeah,
thank her, and she's like, "You don't have to thank
yeah,
me. You're doing what you got to do." I said, "No, because it takes time away,
yeah.
and
For me and
I
you.
appreciate that. You allow me to do what I want to do, and
Uh huh.
get the message out."
No, because and honestly, it gives you a purpose.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
hey, and I'm gonna, my brother did a lot of good, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
want people to forget about it. I want his name to
Yep.
stay out there and all the good and stuff that he did, and to do it because
Yeah.
it's like I said, we're just trying to save one life a year, man. Just
That's
get
it,
the
man.
word out there and
One
help.
dog at a time. One
Yep,
dog at a
one dog
time.
at a time.
And I remember the guy from Oklahoma City. He was saying that it for a police dog, it costs around $100,000 for a police dog. Because for that special training.
Yeah,
You know, Like it's not like like because and also too when you get the dog is maybe 2 years old, so you're not getting a puppy. Like you're getting a fully developed like machine.
Yep.
You know.
And at Dogs Inc., they have an entire campus down there. So they have
Uh,
hospitals, they have doctors, they have nurses. They have a hotel for the veterans. So when the veterans
mm,
go down there, they put them up in their own hotel that they have right there on campus.
yeah.
They get them to acclimate themselves with the dog. They walk them around the campus. They have like
Yeah.
12 different types of pavement for the dogs to
Yeah.
walk on. And
Yeah. Man,
oh
that's
yeah,
okay.
that's right. Ohio Mafia did that. Yep, the Ohio
Yeah.
Cigar Mafia did an event, Hall of Fame
Yeah.
weekend out in Ohio. Yep,
Yeah. 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 Darshawn, he's over in Akron.
yep.
Yeah,
That's
he's over in Akron.
yep. And they started it. They were the first one.
Yeah.
And but when they go to and they won't let you leave with the dog unless it's 100% a fit.
Mm.
And if it doesn't work out, you go back home. They train the dog some more, and they bring you back.
Mm. No, it was like I said, like those dogs, and they stay at their owner's hip.
Yep.
They don't wander off
They don't take their eyes off them. We
at
took
all.
pictures at the event last week, and the dog is always just staring at him just to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It like I feel like that right there should be a requirement. Once it got once somebody retires from the service, you know, even if they don't want the dog, give them the dog, give them the dog for for a couple months. So this way he feels like somebody is there for him. Because as humans, we might not have the empathy to understand what they're going through.
Uh huh.
We might not have the empathy or even the social awareness to notice it. It's like the guy in that from that the sniper from that movie.
Mm-hmm.
When he came home, he wasn't right. You know, and like he wasn't right. But then the other issue is on the fact that you have other SEALs coming after his credibility.
Yeah.
So you come home and not only are you dealing with you know regular life, but then you have other people going up and saying, "Oh well, this guy's lying. He has stolen valor."
Yep.
Like one of my favorite people is David Goggins. David Goggins is like he's an amazing speaker, motivational speaker. And everything with him is got to push through.
Yep.
You got to push through, and you got to find purpose. You know, so But Frank, we're getting to that 2 hour mark, man.
Yeah.
Normal,
I'm looking at my computer. I keep looking at it, and I got
yeah,
like a hair left on this thing.
yeah,
I
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
charge it up. So
yeah, man. So Frank, man, you want anything you want to plug, man, before we get
no,
off this?
anyone's interested in showing some support, send me a direct message over at Jersey Cigar Mafia. I'll send you some information.
Yep.
The patches, I sell the patches to raise the money.
Yeah.
3 different patches. I charge $40 for the 3 patches. It goes
Yep.
right to Dogs Inc. Support them.
Yep.
And when we have events, support the events. Come out. We always have
Yeah.
the dogs at the event. You can come out, see them, learn what it's all about. If you know any veterans, first responders that might need some help, tell them to reach out. I can get them in
Yep.
touch with Dogs Inc. and talk. And that's it. Just help spread the awareness and listen. if people got something to
Mm-hmm.
say, or if you notice something, just say, "Hey, you all right?"
Yep.
That's all you need to do sometimes. Don't just
Yep.
let it go.
Yep. That's it, man. Hey, and if you haven't done one thing, man, call somebody, call one of your friends that you haven't spoken to in a while, and just
Yep.
say, listen, man, I'm
Anything.
just I'm I'm just calling to tell you that I love you. It's
Yep.
that simple.
And it's simple as that. You're right. Just
Yep.
it's like, wow, someone cares. Just let them
Mm-hmm.
know that you're there. And
Exactly.
how
Just
it
call
goes.
somebody
But
and tell them that you love them.
I appreciate your friendship. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah. Always, Frank, man.
everything that you do, and
Yeah,
giving me this avenue to to talk and get things
yeah.
out. And
Anytime, Frank, man. Anytime that you have an event, anytime you need anything to promote, you can always contact me. If you ever want to come back on, just say, hey, you got anybody for Sunday?
all right,
If I don't got nobody, the slot is yours, man. You
sounds
know?
great.
Yeah, man. All right, Frank, man.
Peace.
Guys, you know the vibes already. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Frank, I will see you in person soon.
Real soon. It's been too
Yeah.
long.
Way too long. Way too long.
All right,
All right,
buddy.
my
You have a
brother.
great evening.
You too, all right?
Take
Love you, all
care.
right?
Love you too. Good night.
Night. All right.